What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. It is part 2 of our doubleheader. We had to get in 2 more episodes before the long 4th of July weekend, and I am not alone this time. The podcast dad has returned. He's under a learning tree that I guess is a bench now, or what are you're still doing this? I figured you'd come up with something by now.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what our fearless leader says next for the direction for the learning tree.
That I'm a whiny-ass bitch. Anyway, welcome back, guys, to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Thank you so much for joining us again.
I didn't say you were. I think you've been fine this week.
I didn't say that I was. I've been wonderful this week. I'm really taking one for the team. I was talking about, Mr. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi. Anyway, welcome back, guys. As always, hit that QR code in the top left corner. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subs by the end of the year, and we need your help to do it. So, again, if you know one person that would enjoy our show, please do us a favor and share it with them. I mean, how many other podcasts are going live 3 or 4 nights a week? How many podcasts are giving you 2 live episodes in one day? I don't know of any. Do you?
Not that I know of, besides us.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen here. Thanks again to Luke Curtis for joining us. We had a great conversation talking OVW, talking about his infamous promo on Al Snow, as well as his most recent appearance on Monday Night Raw as one of Chad Gable's security guards. But before we join or introduce our guest for tonight, again, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Support our merch store as well. If you need a mug, you need a hoodie, tank top, T-shirts, beanies,
Tapestry.
We got them. Hats are coming soon. Get one of those tapestries. They are absolutely awesome. We're also going to be sponsoring Scenic City Invitational next week. So if you do see that lovely tapestry that the podcast dad has, come hang out. Come say hello. We want to meet everybody that we've been connecting with over the last few months, having gotten to know people through Scott Hensley, Matt Griffin, Action Wrestling, all the crew down in Georgia. So, definitely excited to be hanging out with everybody next week. As well, we've got ETU, Summer Madness 2 is the next show that we are sponsoring with them. That's coming up July 27th from the Mecca, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, one of the best independent wrestling venues that there is out there. Definitely excited to be a part of those shows in some small way. Hey, Chris, I like that shirt you're wearing there.
Hey, thanks. I got this at, WWE Shop, actually. I'm going to lie. I got it at WWE Shop. I didn't use our link because it wasn't available at the time, but you can use our link now.
Yeah, for this brand new Liv is finally on top t-shirt. At least for now she is. But we'll be talking a little bit more about that as we give our predictions for Money in the Bank and Heatwave. But without further ado, you guys have heard me talk enough, so it's time to bring out our second guest for this second doubleheader. Please welcome, we have the pleasure of chatting with the dynamic Anakin Murphy. He is gearing up for the prestigious SCI Tournament in Chattanooga. He also has an exciting show for Tax Return Wrestling in August and recently competed at Pawcade, a show dedicated for raising money for animal shelters in, I believe, Indiana. So without further ado, let's bring Anakin Murphy into the show. Anakin, how are you? How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good.
Doing well. Thank you so much for joining us, and definitely excited to talk to you. We have plenty of names coming on for the SCI tournament coming up next week, and wanted to make sure that we got to chat with you a little bit. So without further ado, let's just take it back to the beginning here. Here at the Wrestling Junkies, we look at wrestlers. They are superheroes. They are supervillains. They clash. The one thing they all have in common is that they have origin stories. So Anakin, if you could, tell us just some of your earliest memories about pro wrestling.
So my dad was always into wrestling, and he's the one that really got me into it. So it was always like our thing. And that's like what started me as a fan, was my dad to get me into it. And what started me in the business was when I went to a local indie show and found out that indie wrestling existed. And I found a training school a couple of years later and started training.
Who were some of those favorites growing up?
I gravitated towards CM Punk and Jeff Hardy the most. Like those were like my two favorites growing up.
So when they had their feud, I mean, who were you rooting for?
I was rooting for Punk, and that's why I was really happy when Hardy got fired or whenever he lost that cage match.
Oh, right. Well, that was a good answer. I love that answer. So let's talk about the SCI a little bit. You are in the tournament. What does the opportunity mean for you, and how have you been prepping for it?
It's kind of a loaded thing. Like I'm gonna release a video next week about it as well, where I say pretty much the same thing. But I've been wanting to be around the SCI Futures Tournament for years, pretty much, ever since I realized that it was a thing. And like whenever I would message the SCI like Twitter pages, I was always told like, you have to get in our bubble. Like that was a quote. You have to get in our bubble. So I live in St. Louis, so I would make the 7-hour drive to Chattanooga to be at TWE, and I became a mainstay there. And then I have wrestled for Action twice. I wrestled for Action twice in Georgia. I'm not really a mainstay there as I am in TWE, but I made my mark there to be in this tournament. So this tournament means that all my hard work, all the drives by myself, all the miles on my car and body, like it goes into just being an entrant. So now I'm just going to have to win it. And I kind of need this win because like nobody in this tournament does what I do on a consistent basis in terms of like making the shows and making the drives and like stuff like that. And I'm fully confident in saying that.
Nice. So what does preparation for this tournament physically and mentally look like compared to, getting ready for one match in a weekend?
One match is easy. One match is not easy, but preparing for one match is easier than like two in the whole tournament. The weekend is loaded because I will be going to Chattanooga Thursday for TWE the night before, and then I will be driving to Kansas City on Friday for a show, coming back that morning, probably on no sleep, to be in the futures. So I don't really have much time to like physically or mentally prepare. I just have to bet on myself and just go in there and just do what I do.
Okay. Let's talk about another wrestling promotion you're with, the Tax Return Wrestling in August. That sounds very interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of a promotion named Tax Return Wrestling. Can you give us a sneak peek of kind of what fans can expect from that?
If I had to compare it to, so I'm running the show, and it was an idea of me and my friends wanted to like just create a really funny wrestling card. The inspiration came from when Orange Cassidy ran his wrestling show on the Collective, and I want to say 2019, 2018, like somewhere around there. And like there's going to be a Kahoot match, which if people don't know what Kahoot is, it's a quiz game. It'll be a 5-way scramble between me and a bunch of my friends, 2 of which don't wrestle at all. My dad is in a match. He's wrestling the angler in a fishing match, and there's a lot of more stuff.
Okay, hold on. A fishing match? What does that consist of?
There's going to be fishing. They're going to be fishing in the ring.
That's amazing. All right, well, I know what I'm watching in August, so.
How did you come up with these concepts for a card? I've never heard of anything like this, but what's the impetus behind it?
I did have a lot of help from my friends like Rob Leach and Chan Smith and the Luminary. Luminary is a wrestler as well. They've debuted at TWE a couple times. I don't know. It was a really slow day at work. And I was like, I'm just going to call my friends, and we just discussed the match ideas and tossed around a couple and threw away some and then figured out the rest of the card together.
Nice. We see a lot of these collective matches that come up, or these shows, I should say. Joey Janela with the Spring Break, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, Tax Return. What advice do you have to wrestlers that want to also put on similar cards like these in a collective manner that can really motivate them to make those dreams a reality?
The advice I would have is to be fully prepared for like financial stuff, and also just like personal stuff. Like, you're gonna get a lot of people that are not going to like. I haven't experienced this, but you're gonna get a lot of people who don't like you anymore just because you don't use them. So be prepared for that and just kind of be okay with that. I think the finances are the biggest thing. If you don't have the finances to run a wrestling show, one-off or not, you shouldn't do it at all.
Looking at you, Eric. One more promotion I want to talk about real quick is Pawcade.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, how did that come to be? How did you get involved in that? And what does that mean for you as well?
So Pawcade is I guess a once a year kind of show that is run by Chad French. But Zach Ruber, who was a cameraman for Pawcade, and he's cameraman for Paradigm and 01 USA. He made Gary J's documentary, who was my trainer. He wanted to run this Pawcade show, and him and I, being good friends, of course, like, I was on board. And that scramble match we had was really, really fun. It was my first time working with Sandra Moon. And yeah, like, it was just a good time, and like, animals were benefited from it, and it had a great draw. It raised a ton of money, so like, all positives around the board there.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, Anakin, before we let you go here, we have a question for you. It's probably the hardest one you're going to get this entire show. We ask every guest this question. Mr. WrestleMania, is it Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker?
It's Shawn Michaels.
No, it's not.
That's pretty easy.
It's not. It's not, though. It's not. It's The Undertaker.
I mean, who's had better caliber matches?
Debatable.
It's Shawn Michaels.
Debatable.
That's the answer when he knows it's not Undertaker.
Shut up.
Make me. Well, Anakin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can't wait to meet you in person next week at SCI. Good luck with the rest of your prep. Where can everybody find you on social media?
It's Anakin Sad Murphy, pretty much everywhere. Like, that's kind of the handle for everything.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
Awesome. Well,
and
good luck again. And yeah, can't wait to see you next week. And have a good night, man.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, again, you can also check out SCI Live on IWTV. 2 days of great wrestling, amazing sponsors, including us. What's not to love about that? So, Choops, it is almost 4th of July. The long weekend is here. We got some graphs to talk about here. Notice that I said graphs and not graphs. So,
here's the thing about this. You're the only one allowed to call me Choops. Did you know that?
Are you saying who else is calling you Choops?
Nobody is. I'm just saying. You're like, you just said it. You're literally the only one that calls me that, and you're the only one that I think is allowed to call me that.
Yeah, because I think 190 episodes in, it's too late to say something.
Well, no, it's not.
Kind of is.
Which card do you want to break down first? Heatwave, or
let's do Heatwave first. And we talked about this a little bit before we hit the air here. But Money in the Bank is Saturday. Heatwave is on Sunday. Do you like this particular order of the cards?
I don't know. Where is Heatwave? It's in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in that same. I think it's in the same arena that SmackDown's in.
Interesting. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know why they did it like that, but.
Money in the Bank's also in the entire weekend's running out of that same building.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent to, like, is this a bad thing? No, but is it weird? Maybe a little bit. Is it an afternoon show, or is it?
No, it's prime time, 8 p.m.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what their logic is, but. Let them run with it, like, because we've seen it in the past where they do like an afternoon show and then they do the show at night. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, look at it this way: If the order was reversed, then you probably would not be eating wings or dope-ass ribs from the smoker. So,
I mean, you'd make them on Sunday, though.
would I?
Yeah.
That's the day before I have to go back to work. Like, probably not.
Get over it. You have guests.
Yeah, and okay, if I did have guests on that particular evening, guess what? We're all getting Domino's.
Can we also talk about how this man, how old are you, 33, 32?
I'm 30. I just turned 34.
Okay, 34. Hey, this is the first time you've ever had Eggs Benedict in your life?
Yeah.
Dude, what have you been doing with your life?
Ordering everything else at brunch other than Eggs Benedict?
He said skillets, burritos. Dude, get some class.
Yeah.
And I am so happy. I'm so happy.
I tried it and I liked it.
That you now have somebody that can class you up a little bit. It's a great look on you.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's not for you. It's not for you.
You can't just be happy for me? Okay, whatever.
I am. I'm happy that I am very happy for you, but I'm also very happy that we're going to get a little bit more classy Cincinnati, because
I would like to think I'm doing damn fine.
Well, before, a little shaky. Nathan Frazier and Axiom take on Andre Chase and Duke Hudson for the NXT.
You're skipping over the pre-show.
I don't care.
You're the one that is all about Ariana Grace, and you don't even want to talk about the fact that she has a match on this card.
Do you care at all about this tag match?
No.
Okay, so Nathan Frazier and Axiom take on Chase University for the NXT Tag Team Champions. Who you got?
I'm going to go Chase U on this one. The tension between Nathan Frazier and Axiom seems to be kicking it up a notch. Frazier has been focused on the Heritage Cup. He's been focused on everything other than his team with Axiom. I like the idea of this because Chase University is trying something new with Ridge Holland. I think they're trying to basically turn the bad boy into the
good boy.
Basically what they've done with Duke Hudson. Still waiting for that heel turn, but I guess I'm not going to get it.
You're going to get the Ridge Holland heel turn before the Duke Hudson heel turn.
And you know what that's some bullshit right there, okay?
You're going to get the Riley Osborne heel turn before the Duke Hudson heel turn.
Riley doesn't have it in him.
You wait.
I don't think he does.
You wait.
No, I guess hey, I've been waiting this long for Duke Hudson. I guess I can wait a little.
I don't think Duke has it in him.
Well, they tried it once with MVP. It just didn't work on the main roster.
I do not.
That was just a weird pairing.
When did that happen?
Like 2019. It was like late 2019. Like we're talking like into the Thunderdome era. Okay, his name was Brandon Vink or Vrink or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's his birth name.
Yeah, but that was the name that he went by on TV. Yeah.
Wow, I blocked that out of my mind. I do not remember that.
Wrestling junkies.
Yeah, I'll go Axiom and Frazier. I think the tension's there. I just don't think it's at the boiling point quite yet.
Yeah, I think this will kick him in that direction. I think what I'm curious to see is if we do get this split, are we going to get a quick program with them? And if so, who's working heel in this situation? I mean, it's going to be hard to buy him as a heel unless he does something just truly, truly evil, you know?
I mean, do you know who his coach was?
No, I do. Kick him in the balls.
He knows a little
something.
Blast
him in the back with a chair.
Take his eyeball out.
Yeah, but eyeball.
He did it to a guy in a mask.
Yeah, so okay. We're both saying Chase U.
Wrestling junk. No, I just said Frazier and Axiom.
Sorry.
You listen. See, now I'm yelling. I'm going to wake the kids up. Don't do this.
What? So I'm making you yell to the point that you might wake your children up. Got it. That's how that works. That's how that works.
Do I need to have MJB teach you about this too? Active listening.
No, I'm a great active listener with MJB. Leave me alone.
We do a podcast. You have to listen.
I can't have a brain fart
and Sol Ruka in the NXT Women's Championship match. Kalani, right?
Yeah, I mean, Sol Ruka maybe snatching souls, but Kalani's is not going to be one of them. I think that they're very excited to see what this championship reign looks like for her. Even though she was very obviously the more talented in that 2022 breakout tournament, I think it was, or 2023.
Yes.
But they went with Lola Vice instead. Kalani, again, just kind of bided her time. But this is a great reward for the work that she's put in. So I want to see a solid championship reign with her. There also, hats off to Papa HBK for the street fight that we saw between Jada Parker and Mia Yim. Seems like he's really trying to establish a mid-card division for NXT, and it's nice to see.
Well, they have a championship for it, so they should establish that. They need challengers. Yeah, Kalani doesn't lose on the first title defense on a major show. But
no.
Obafemi and Wes Lee, the last chance match for Wes Lee. If he loses, he cannot challenge Obafemi as long as Obafemi is champion. Obafemi?
Yeah. I am ready for them to see what they have in store for Wes Lee in the main event scene. Because that's one thing that we've talked about is a lot of, what's next for Trick and what challengers are there. And he's getting 3 of them thrown at him, as far as his Fatal 4-Way, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But, Wes is another one of those guys that, he'll probably be better in the chase. But why not give him a chance? He's busted his ass, and I think but for having the time away from the ring for the back/neck injury, he probably would have found himself at some point mixing it up with either Carmelo or Ilya in a one-off match to see what they have there. So I say we try it now.
I'm still gonna go. Yeah. So Obafemi.
Yeah, I'm going Obafemi. Yeah, because at least if he can't compete, he can't challenge. I mean, Oba's not losing that title anytime soon. I can't think of anybody on the roster that you have him lose to right now.
Not right now. And Wesley was, I agree, he was good in the chase, but he's also a great North American champion. Like
he was.
Those open challenges were fantastic.
He was, but I think this is a different beast in the main event scene, and it's a main event scene that's still very much in flux.
It's very murky. Roxanne Perez takes on Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne?
I am going to go Roxanne. I want to say, just because I thought a lot about this segment last night as we're seeing it. And I've said it on the show, one of my criticisms of Lola Vice was basically, the gimmick was she's an MMA fighter that likes to dance. And the dancing was kind of the larger aspect of her character, more so than her MMA background. And they've slowly reversed those ratios. And we saw what she's done in NXT Underground, and it's a match that's fit for her. I like this badass Lola Vice. She likes to party. She likes to have a good time. But, I would rather see that she's more of a threat to take somebody's head off than to, want to go do bottle service at a club or something. And this promo last night, as far as kind of why she got into MMA, I really, really enjoyed seeing that side of her, the kind of the why she's in this business. I think for me, I would have liked to have seen the delivery be a little bit more towards the angry chip on my shoulder side, as opposed to the overly emotional, just because it didn't necessarily come off as convincing in that moment. Love the story. Love that they want to take that and bring that into her character, because it's another one of those layers that she, in particular, I thought she needed, because it was just a very kind of what you see on its face sort of gimmick. But this was a great way to build some additional hype here, and I guess he's just going to walk away while I talk. I mean, this is what happens when you don't listen to your coworkers, I guess.
You're not a coworker, you jackass.
This is a job. We're coworkers.
You're not a coworker. Don't label yourself as a coworker. Sorry. Did you want the cat to just start meowing?
Stranger things have happened on this show.
That's fair. I think it's too early for Lola Vice. She's still, and I think you touched on it pretty well. That the promo last night didn't come off super convincing. She's still pretty green. It is what it is. She's still pretty green. I think she has a bright future, but I don't think it is time. Roxanne is waiting for Julia. Let's be honest. That's what's happening. And then until I see Julia on the screen going against Roxanne Perez, I'm going to assume Roxanne keeps winning these title defenses.
Yeah, it's because that's another thing is, trying to replace talent that's already been drafted up. I mean, she's the established veteran of NXT. She's only 23 years old. They have all the time in the world to bring her up to the main roster. Same thing with New Catch Republic, since they seem to be going back to NXT a lot lately.
That's fine. They need tag teams, and they weren't doing it on the main roster.
Saying they don't. I'm not saying they don't.
Look, if they're getting TV time, I'm happy. They're getting TV time, I'm happy.
That's fair. Speaking of TV time, Britt's delivering an impassioned promo right now.
Who do you think's going to do better on the mic, Britt or Mercedes? Britt.
Oof. I probably am going to lean Britt. Mercedes has not been great on the AEW mic. Sasha Banks was leaps and bounds better. That's just me.
So. Fatal 4-way for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Shawn Spears. Does Trick Williams walk out as the champion?
Yes, but I'm not super confident in my prediction.
I'm going to say no. I think Ethan Page is walking out with that title.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Javon Evans is in this match because he has earned that spot. Dude has blown everybody away since he signed with WWE, and you know, we've certainly interviewed more than a few people on our show that have had nothing but great things to say about Jay Malachi on the Indies. So this is I think this is a let's see what we got with him in the main event scene. And spoiler alert, they have a whole hell of a lot in him. Ethan Page is you know the new kid on the block, fresh off an AEW run that could have been better. Seems like WWE is interested in making him a singles star. So, yeah, if it's not Trick, I could see it as Page. Shawn Spears, I'm not buying as an NXT champion just yet. I think he's still trying to figure out what he's doing with this character.
Yeah, definitely not Shawn Spears. Sorry, Shawn, but no, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing with Lola Vice. They're saying what they have. Hey, here's the big time, but there's a reason it's not a one-on-one match. I don't think they're ready to go all in, like chips in the table, but a good test for him. And that's why I think Ethan Page will walk out with it, because Trick doesn't have to technically lose, and then you can get one more match out of Trick and Ethan Page, where maybe Trick wins it back. You know, Trick's got to he's got to face a little bit of adversity here.
Yeah, and that actually answers my follow-up question is, you know, if Trick loses, does this mean that he's right to the main roster, or does he continue the fight? Yeah.
No, I think we're waiting until next draft for Trick Williams. I don't see him coming up any sooner, because he's still pretty green. Like, yeah, let's see what else he can do, right? They have something with him. Let's continue to develop this character, his wrestling, his promos. Like, not everybody has to go to the main roster right away. It's okay.
Yeah, and Fatal 4-Way is a good choice, because I don't think that, you know, either of us was all that blown away by his one-on-one match with Ethan Page.
Nope, we were not.
No. Any final thoughts on Heatwave?
Not at the moment. I didn't know it was this weekend. That is on me. All right. So, after Monday Night Raw, here is our lineup for Money in the Bank. I don't know if we get anything added on SmackDown. I don't think so, because it is 5 matches, and they seem to be booking that as of late. So we have the Bloodline taking on Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Where are we going here?
I think this is where you get the Bloodline a much needed win to solidify the fact that they are taking over SmackDown. Paul Heyman has been written off of TV for the foreseeable future, presumably to reunite with Roman whenever he comes back, selfishly in Cleveland. But yeah, this is a chance for the Bloodline to get a much needed win. I don't necessarily see any additional surprises within this match. I wonder if we will see, much like we saw a couple of months ago, I believe it was Backlash, where that match turned into a street fight.
Yeah. And you say much needed win. Didn't they win that match at Backlash?
Yeah, but this was Tama Tonga. Had he already debuted? I'm getting myself.
Yeah, okay. It was Solo and Tama Tonga, and then Tangaloa debuted.
Yeah, I mean, I still say that they need the win here at Money in the Bank. I mean, especially because it's a 6-man tag match. Kevin Owens can take this pin, and it's not gonna affect him too terribly badly. But yeah, I think Cody also needs to face a little bit of adversity with this new bloodline.
Yep.
We know that he's going to win at SummerSlam if he does take on Solo. But yeah, let's get Solo another much needed win on pay-per-view here, because it's all great if you're doing the tribal chief shit, but you're also the same guy that beat Cena and then was not used for the 5 months after that. So let's get Solo warmed up here, and let's get him white hot for Cody.
I think we're there. I think that's how you get to SummerSlam. Solo gets the win, maybe pins Cody Rhodes. Maybe we saw Cody get pinned at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I think Cody would be fine in a tag match, in a random kind of, not random, but in a tag match where that happens. Yeah, I think Solo, either way, Solo's going to pin somebody, and he's going to say, I deserve a shot at the champion. That's how we're going to get to a SummerSlam, and hopefully the return of our real tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Real quick, AEW-wise, the CEO has just interrupted Britt's promo, basically by having a bunch of production people set up balloons, confetti, and streamers and all that stuff while Britt is still in the ring. So that's some boss shit. 2 thumbs up.
Damian Priest takes on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Calm down.
I didn't say it.
I have gone back and forth on this. I think Seth Rollins is going to win.
I do too. I think that it's high time that Finn Balor finally costs Damian Priest. We know that there is something going on involving this new Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, all of that stuff. She seems to be firmly entrenched in this group, at least temporarily. I would like to see where they go with that without Damian Priest having to be the voice of reason. This has been a solid first title run for him. I think that just for now, there's more money in a match between Priest and Finn Balor at SummerSlam. Get that one-on-one blow off. Let's finally move this group on. Again, the Rhea injury, we don't know if that affected the timing or whether we're going to get this match at all. But I say it's time to go ahead and set that up. And the only way to do that is for Finn to cost him the title.
What type of booking does Triple H like?
Long term.
Do you remember the match at last year's Money in the Bank?
Vaguely.
I don't know what's going on outside. You guys hear that?
I hear something.
Okay. Somebody's on a crotch rocket. It was Seth Rollins defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor.
I remember that opener, yeah.
And do you remember what happened at the end of that match?
I do not. Oh,
Damian Priest was there.
All he did was just walk around and distracted, lost, and yeah.
That is why I think Seth Rollins is going to win, because it's the same event, it's the same setup. Finn, I think, is going to cost Damian Priest this championship. And like you said, we're going to get to that match eventually. At SummerSlam, maybe. We'd have to see. I can't remember. Was Triple H in full control for last year's SummerSlam? So I don't remember how many.
Yes.
I don't remember how many matches were on that card. So it depends on the length of the card. So could that squeeze in there? Sure. But yeah, and Seth losing it to Gunther at SummerSlam does Seth no harm. I think it would do Priest a little bit more harm than that. So I'm going to go Seth Rollins.
I like it. I'm not mad at all. I really want to see the next big step in this Judgment Day story at Money in the Bank. I think it's high time.
Well, hopefully Rhea's back at SummerSlam too. We can get that.
Honestly, I wouldn't even rule her coming back, even if it's just to kind of remind people that she's still there and I haven't forgotten about anything and I see what's going on. I wouldn't rule that out for Saturday either.
Wouldn't be bad. Yeah. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. I think Sami Zayn wins. And I think it's
I want to see Braun Breaker win this damn title. That's just
I know you do. And I think it's the if we're going to change the World Heavyweight Championship, I don't think we change the IC Championship on the same card.
But why?
Because I think we're going to get that moment with Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. On a bigger stage, on the second biggest stage that they have. I'm about to go kill somebody.
No, you're not. You can't say that on a live stream.
I can't do that. My kids are asleep. They wake up my kids, it's over.
I get that. I hear
you. But yeah, no, I think this ends in like a small package roll up kind of thing. And I think I talked about it a few weeks ago where Sami Zayn goes, I caught you. You know, he's the rookie. I'm the veteran. I got you this time. But Braun's going to learn from that. And then at SummerSlam, just crush Sami Zayn. So give me Sami Zayn this time. I think Braun wins it at SummerSlam.
Fine.
I know.
Disagree.
You're upset.
I'm not upset.
All right, now this is where the boys become
where heroes are made,
or the girls become women. Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Zoe Stark. Women's Money in the Bank. First, give me your winner. Second, give me your dark horse.
The thing is, for me, the winner and dark horse are like, it's a razor's edge that differentiates the two. Tiffany Stratton is over in a way that I certainly didn't expect once she hit the main roster. I mean, we know she's a damn good heel, but the babyface reaction that she gets consistently is something that we can't ignore. Dark horse, Chelsea Green, because she'd be insufferable with that briefcase. And realistically, you know, because she has been in the tag team with Piper basically since she made a return a couple of years ago, it's hard. Like, they haven't done anything to like really set her aside as a singles competitor, or to see what they have in her in that respect. So I could see her toting around that briefcase, basically waiting for Piper to do Piper Niven things, and she just, again, because she's got sheer dumb luck of a cash-in, is going to take that title, and it's going to be, okay, well, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to hold on to Piper for now, as long as I have to, just to hold on to my title. But eventually Piper's going to get tired of that, and you've got your one-on-one story built out for them. So, yeah. Tiffany Stratton, though, I think is going to get the win.
Tiffany Stratton is the favorite to win, and that's why I don't think she's going to win.
That's fair.
Because realistically, I don't think she needs the Money in the Bank to win the championship, if that makes sense.
She doesn't. No.
So my winner is going to be Lyra Valkyria.
She had a great showing in Queen of the Ring.
She had a great showing at Queen of the Ring. She was booked very well in NXT. Everything they have shown for her so far is she has a bright future in this division. She's just not there quite yet. Holding the Money in the Bank for a 6 to 8 month time period, even if it's that long, I think provides a little bit more credibility for her. So I'm going to go Lyra to win. My dark horse is Chelsea Green. So I can't disagree with anything you said. Chelsea Green winning that would be amazing. It would be so much fun. Like, it would be so much fun. It would be just...
We're going to pop real hard if Chelsea does walk away with that briefcase.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. It'd be great television. It would be like, that's who I want to win. That is who I want to win. So, and maybe we'll throw that out for the next Money in the Bank is who do you like? Who's going to win? Who do you want to win? And who's the dark horse? So let's go to the men's. Okay. Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, L.A. Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Who do you want to win? Who's going to win? And your dark horse.
Who's going to win and who I want to win are the same here, and that's Jey Uso. I know. I mean, but look, this is realistically the culmination of the attempts to make Jey Uso main event. I know that you don't necessarily see him in that upper echelon. But let's be honest. Did you see The Miz, the first go around with the Money in the Bank briefcase as a main eventer in that moment that he was holding the briefcase? Probably not. Did you think that Mr. Kennedy, at the time that he retrieved the briefcase, was ready for that main event scene? I sure as shit didn't. But this is the opportunity here. That's where I think Jey Uso can shine. He's got the charisma. He's over with the crowd. You're going to get a halfway decent match out of him every time he's in the ring. Again, the only criticism we have is he's been a tag team wrestler for the last 15 years. So, yeah, there's an adjustment that comes out of that transition. But they seem to have all the faith in the world behind him when it comes to that machine. And when you look at all of the other stories that are going to kind of play out here in this match, LA Knight is going to be thwarted by Logan Paul to set up their match at SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk is probably going to come back out and cost Drew the briefcase, setting up their SummerSlam program. Chad Gable, as much as he has grown so much, hi Kyle, he's got the White Six to deal with. Because he said, hey guys.
Oh. I was like, what?
Yeah, there's a reason for it. So, yeah, that leaves Andrade, who has not done really anything of relevance other than compete for the Speed Championship. It's still fun to watch Wednesdays on X.
Isn't he the Speed Champion? He's not just competing for it. He is the Speed Champion.
Yeah, well, still.
You don't even watch. You don't even know who your own champion is. Damn it.
How's everything going on Level Up?
It's good. I just saw, what's his face wrestle?
That's what I thought. Anyway, that leaves me with Dark Horse, Carmelo Hayes. Melo has all the charisma in the world. That he's one of those guys that if you put the briefcase on him as a long shot, let him hold it for almost a year, they'll have a main eventer by the time they're ready to put the title on him. Doesn't necessarily mean he can cash in on Cody, but hop on over to Raw, and I would buy him as a world champion with the right build over a year. Sure.
Yep.
So that's what I got.
All right. Who do I want to win? Come on. It's LA Knight. I want LA Knight to win. And we've seen it before. Correct me if I'm wrong. RVD held the Money in the Bank and the Intercontinental Champion at the same time.
Yeah, Miz did the same thing with the U.S. title and the tag titles and a couple of Slammies.
Exactly. So it's happened before. My dark horse is Chad Gable because of everything you said over the past couple months. He's elevated a lot, and that could play some kind of role with the Wyatt Six. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling Chad Gable could be the dark horse in this match. My winner, who I think is going to win, and you may notice now a theme with both Money in the Bank matches, I think Carmelo Hayes wins this. I really do.
Okay.
I think they see both Lyra and Carmelo as kind of those standouts that they've brought up. Shout out to Ilya. We still love you. But I think you got bigger things coming. But I think they want to put these briefcases on these two and kind of work this project of what the Money in the Bank kind of originally was, right? Give it to a guy or gal that needs it to continue to elevate them to that main event scene. And they have two young stars right now that they want to get there. And like you said, what better way to do that is to attach this briefcase to them for a couple months and get them to that level. And come on, Mellow in the Bank. I mean, what are we doing? Like, it sells itself. I understand.
So does Mr. Monyeet in the Bank, and they will definitely try it.
I understand your Jey Uso argument. I think the larger bloodline storyline somehow is going to play some sort of factor in this match.
Okay.
To somehow cost Jey Uso something. I don't know. Either it indirectly or not directly, I still think he will be a part of that storyline. And holding the Money in the Bank really doesn't do anything for that storyline. So that kind of, again, when it feels like they're so overwhelming favorites, it makes me think they're going to pivot somehow.
Sure.
And I think we saw that last year too with Damian and Io. I don't think either of us picked those two. So I think they're going to continue
Definitely
to
not
pivot.
Damien.
Well, and they wanted to get him to that level, and they did. Over when he was holding that Money in the Bank, he got to that level and was a believable champion when he won the champion. So give me Carmelo Hayes, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
I love the Money in the Bank. I love the concept.
It's a great show.
It's gotten so much better in recent years. We went through some pretty thin years, but I think after last year, I have a little bit more faith in what they're going to do with it.
Yeah. You're here. Any final thoughts on this weekend of wrestling / smoked meats?
No, I like wrestling. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. I like wrestling too. That's why this works.
Good.
Any final thoughts before we call it a week here, my good sir?
Everybody be safe. Come out with all your digits.
Yeah, seriously. And as always, please support our merch store. Buy a mug, buy a hoodie, buy a tank, buy a t-shirt, buy a beanie. WWE shop link. There's probably some sale going on site-wide right now for the 4th of July, but use our link. Everything that we earn, we put back into the show, and this is again how we are able to sponsor awesome events, much like we talked about at the beginning of the show with SCI, as well as Summer Madness. So it is all on you guys to help us out. If you know one person that would enjoy this show, please do us a favor and share it with them. We will be back on Monday. We've got a star-studded lineup of guests throughout that week. We'll also have some exclusive content from SCI. We will be in Chattanooga for this show. The good Dr. Landon Hale will be returning, and there will probably be a live podcast that is done in the car. So, it's gonna be a really good time. So, thank you guys as always for joining us tonight. Make sure to be safe. Have a great 4th of July weekend. And for the podcast dad under that damn learning tree, I'm Mr. Cincinnati. We'll see you guys next week.